Drum roll, please. Oh, excited. All right, I think we're live. All right, hey y'all. So I'm super excited to kick off today's call and training with I would say a good friend of mine, somebody that I've worked with now for many years. I can tell you just a little brief story about Samantha. One of the very first times I really got to meet Samantha, she actually flew to Southern California, and it was early on in her career. It was early on in my, let's say, leadership career, where we were doing these really cool small meetings, like 9 or 10 of us, mastermind in a 15,000 square foot house in Southern California. Who would ever want to do something like that? Go to like a really cool house and do like a cool private mastermind with a small group of people. And I know we have leaders on here that already do that. And if you get a chance to, if you want to do something like that, reach out to us and let us know. Now we'll hold you accountable to it, because it'll be different. It'll be a little bit like wowing, but it was really cool. It was one of the very first time. I know Lynn was there also. It was one of the very first times I ever got to spend time with Samantha. And what's interesting about Samantha is that if you ever get to really hear her story, and maybe someday she'll tell you the story, it's you realize that when you meet her, you know there's greatness there. It's pretty simple. You know that she has, confidence and swagger, and she holds herself to a standard that's just extraordinary. You know there's greatness there. But then when you hear the story behind that, you know that she's been through life. Like she's seen it and she's lived it and walked it. But you wouldn't know that when you met her, because she holds herself to a standard of the way she wants to become, if that makes any sense. But yet she has the relatability to know where you've been to, what are challenges you've been to. She's been there. And one of the biggest things that I'll tell you that that impresses me the most about her is that no matter how complicated life can get and life can be complicated, the truth is she's had many reasons, legitimate reasons, maybe not to show up to an event or show up to a training or show up to something. And she's always found a way to do that. And I'm kind of curious, actually, maybe she'll answer that why, but she always makes that happen. And that's the reason, one of the main reasons why she's had such great success here, is that she's been able to make a, maybe let's call it, I wouldn't call it a sacrifice. It's a choice, to make a choice to better her family's life, even though that choice sometimes is really difficult. And but I've gotten to know her really well over the last 5 years, and she's my go-to. If I need something, if I need a perspective or some advice, if I need somebody to bounce ideas off of, if I need somebody to tell me it's straight, no matter what, she's going to give me the answer. And so y'all, she's here today and she's crushing it right now. I mean, I think she hit multiplier in like 4 seconds this month. I mean, she's on absolute fire, and she doesn't do that all the time. And she has ups and downs and flows like everybody else. But I'm super excited for her to be sharing with you all. She has some unbelievable information and content to share with you guys today. Some training. So get your pens and paper out and give it up for Miss Samantha Rose.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, what a great introduction, Dustin. Thank you. And I feel the same way about you.
I only made up half of it. The rest
as you're saying, like, I don't know how she always shows up. I'm like super congested and super sick, but then Cameron reached out and you reached out and I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'm really excited. And the reason why I always show up and I always do it, it's partially for me and partially for other people. I'm such a giver and I'm such a lover, and I love helping other people. I love sharing. And I know that in the long run, that also betters myself. And I'm truly honored to be here. I'm truly honored to share. I love sharing. So today we're going to talk about the art of attraction. Okay, the art of attraction and what that really means and how to really get granular with that. Does anybody on here feel like they post or put things out there, but they don't necessarily get as much attraction as they would like? And if you can, okay, good. So then this is going to be a good training. Yes. Okay. So that actually was me for a very long time. I'll just be honest, for like the first couple of years, I built my business through like personal connections and stuff, like just meeting people, going out there, networking meetings, vendor tables, keto life parties, going to people's houses. We hosted them in churches. We hosted them at storefronts. We hosted all these different things. But during that, I, in the background was kind of trying to build like social media and attract people to me. But I promise you, like for a very long time, I was putting stuff out there and I was not getting actual like attraction. Okay. So that's why this is so on my heart, and why I also got really, really granular with wanting to learn how the heck to do it, because I saw all these other people on social media, right? I saw these other people improve it that would like post a post and be like, it's Freebie Friday. These are my magic drinks. This is how good they are. And then I would post the same thing and it just wouldn't do the same thing. Right? Can anyone relate to that? Has anyone ever done that before? Okay. So there's a lot that goes into that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I do have some notes here because I'm just such a note person and I want to prepare this for you guys and make sure I shared it all. And then I also have another friend on here and I want her to share a story in a couple minutes because she's truly been an inspiration for me. And like Dustin mentioned, gosh, this is the longest intro ever, but it's fine. I just followed Dustin, so it's cool. But this girl literally has been such an inspiration to me in times where I did have my ebbs or my flows or whichever one is the down one. Like she helped me so much and she inspired me by showing me a lot of the things that I needed to do or that I might have reminded her to do and then I stopped doing. So yeah, I'm not going to sell you on her story. She's awesome. She'll share her story, but I just want you to know I have a friend on here that's going to share and she's very, very inspiring. And same thing, art of attraction. She attracts the heck out of some people. So to me, my definition of attraction is like when I think about attraction, and I want you guys to define this for yourself too, right? If you have a pen and paper, write this down. The first thing that comes to your brain and do not overthink it. Okay. What is your definition of attraction? What is your ideal situation when you say, I want to attract people to me, to my business? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Like, what does attraction mean to you? To me, attraction is me waking up every single day, every morning with tons of people in my inbox, in my comments, in my text messages, excited. I got goosebumps, full body, excited for ketones, excited to try ketones, excited to get to know you, excited to ask you questions. All right, excited. Like that to me is attraction, is magnetizing these people into your life every single day. All right, that is what I have been manifesting and creating for the last couple of years, relentlessly, fully focused on how the heck I can do that. So every single move that I make nowadays, I keep that in mind. How can this bring people into my inbox, into my comments, into my whatever the heck you want them to fall into? How, right? That to me is what the attraction is, right? Magnetism, like Joseph McClendon always talks about, right? So I'm also going to share a quick story with you guys. When I first started this, just to create some relatability here, like I had no interest in sharing anything on social media at all. When I first joined Prove It, I was in a super bad place mentally. I had just gotten out of a very, very bad domestic violent relationship, not good, bad place, single mom, 2 kids. My daughter was getting diagnosed in the process of autism. Like it was a lot. And I had zero desire to share my real life on social media. I had no desire to do that at all. I did feel confident sharing the ketones with people because I loved them, like my mom and my friends and stuff. But online, somebody asked me, the person that signed me up asked me to get on a Zoom call. And I was like, you guys are weird. Then they wanted me like, oh, let me teach you how to make a post. I was like, I am not posting this on my social media. They're like, but this is your new business. And I'm like, I am not telling people online that this is what I am doing. They're like, but you can go live and share your excitement. Like you're loving ketones. Your mom is loving ketones. And I'm like, I am not going live on anything. Okay. I am not making a video. I am not doing these things. I promise you this this was me. Yeah, Amanda, I see you do too. She's like, me too. I was not having it. Okay. I had no desire. I really did one day. I do remember getting excited though about when I got my whole max pack, because I bought the big pack. And I like put them in Ziploc bags. Literally, those were my trial packs, clear, regular Ziploc bags. And I like took this picture and I like held them and I was like, yay, I have these trial packs. That was the extent. Okay. So moral of that story is I had zero experience in network marketing, online sales, social media, attraction marketing. I didn't even know what that meant. Okay. I didn't even know what network marketing was when I joined this. So just so you guys know, you don't have to know anything and to get to where I am or anyone else is that you see or follow online. All that matters is that you make the decision to start. Decide to start and define what attraction means to you and decide to take action towards that. Because over the last 5.5 years, I have built a social media presence. I have built attraction, magnetism through plugging into these trainings. Eventually I got unstubborn and I started to learn, okay? But like through these little trainings here and there, I picked up these hints and tips and tricks and all these things, and I just applied them. Like I mentioned, for like 2 years straight, I didn't get a lot of attraction, but I built a little bit of presence, a little bit of presence, a little bit of presence, and more, I had people coming to me. So that's the goal. Is everyone's goal here to attract people to them about ketones, waking up every morning to attract people to you about ketones. Yes. Drop a 1 in the chat if that's your goal, please. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. Okay. So, that's my story. I just wanted you guys to know where I came from. So you weren't like, oh, this girl has a bunch of followers and she just, can post whatever. That's not the case. I promise. So attraction marketing is a feeling. Okay, good. Everyone said 1. Not that there was another option, but so attraction marketing is a feeling. Marketing is a feeling. All right. Marketing isn't putting a billboard up and saying, I love ketones. Here's my website. That's not marketing. That's not attractive. That's a major turnoff in my opinion. But like marketing is a feeling, and it's a feeling that you get, and it's a feeling that you create. We build our whole business based on attraction marketing, right? We share our journey and we share our story to attract people to us. It's not about what you look like. It's not about anything. It's not about where you're from. It's not about anything. It's about connecting with people who want to connect with people. Like if you ever feel like you're having to force or convince or anything, or what word I don't like, objection, or it's not about that. That's not what we're here for. We are attracting people, but we're connecting with people. We're in the relationship business. All right. And we're connecting with people that want to connect with people, right? Not the people that are like pushing us away. So I want you guys to learn things with intention right now, with the intention to teach other people too, because you are all here building a business and you are all here building a team. So everything that I share with you right now, learn it with the intention to apply it, but also learn it with the intention to teach your team, your current team, your future team, because that's what this business is about. It's an I do, we do, you do, like monkey see, monkey do kind of thing, right? So this whole attraction thing is about your target audience. Let's start with that phrase, target audience. Like what does that even mean, right? What does your target audience mean? Well, I'll break it down for you. First, think about your personal brand, like you as a person. You as a person, you're a brand. Everyone on here is a brand. I'm the Samantha Rose brand. And the Samantha Rose brand consists of, bettering myself, bettering others, bettering my children, health and wellness, growing and learning together, positive, uplifting, inspiring, motivating, right? These are things that I feel that are part of my personal brand. So first and foremost, think about what your personal brand is. What are your beliefs and what do you consist of? Even your hobbies are part of your brand. I love yoga. I love to travel. I love adventures, right? So I want you to write those things down. You could start now and continue as you go and later on and have this list forever. But your personal brand is going to be in alignment with Prove It's brand, because we're all in Prove It and we all have those same core values. And when you're very aware of what you and your brand are and how you mesh with Prove It, it became for me a lot easier to share things because I knew what I needed to talk about. I knew what I wanted to talk about because they were naturally already part of my brand. Right. So I started sharing with the world the things that are part of my brand. Right. So ask yourself, I'm going to give you guys a lot of questions right now to turn your wheels and think about, why did you decide to buy ketones? What was the thing that made you say, I'm in? What place were you in mentally when you started looking into ketones? Right? Like, these are the things that you also are going to want to share online, by the way. But I'm going to really turn your wheels. Like, where were you mentally? Where were you physically? How did you feel? What were your fears? Right? Were you skeptical? Were you like, what were your setbacks? What held you back at first? If something held you back, I know people who watched for months and weeks before they got started. And I know some people I talked to one time and they get started, but what was it? Think back. If you've been in Prove It for a week or a year or 5 years, go back to that moment right before you got started. Like, I could crystal clear tell you that this dude talked to me about ketones for 3 weeks before I actually tried them. I could tell you all the things I was nervous about, my setbacks, right? So I want you to get into that place. And the reason why I'm asking you these things, like, what were you most excited about, is because these are the things that you want to talk to the world about. These are the things that are going to attract people to you because they can relate to you. They'll be able to relate if you tell them, like, hey, listen, before I started ketones, someone talked to me about this for 3 weeks. And I was kind of skeptical, because one, I didn't want to spend any money. I was in a bad place mentally. I had no desire or motivation to do anything good for myself at that point in time. I wasn't thinking like that. And when I share that with people, they're like, oh, you know what? I can relate to that right now. There's some people out there that can relate to that. So the more you share those things, whether it's in a post or a story or a TikTok or a in-person conversation, the more attractive you become, because people will say, wow, I'm there now. I'm there now. I can relate to that, or I've been there, right? And that's really what's going to help people move forward. Also, people watch my videos for like 2 years before they ever bought from me as well. So if I wasn't sharing consistently and I didn't decide and start, then people never would have watched my story. There would be no story to watch. And if you really think about too, like, what was your problem? Like from a problem and solution standpoint, like, what was your problem and what was your challenge, let's say, and how did ketones provide the solution? Not only ketones though, right? It's not just about ketones, it's the community. How did the community help you? How did the personal development help you? How did the business development help you? I could apply all these questions to every single one of those categories because they're all a little different. And all of these are different stories that you all can tell. Stories tell. Stories sell, I mean. I don't know the saying. Stories are powerful, okay, guys? Stories are the most powerful. The most powerful people are storytellers. Don't laugh at me.
Facts tell, stories sell.
Yay! Thanks, Lynn. I love Lynn. She's one of my favorite humans. All right. So, like, share. Yes. Thank you. I remember you when you started doing your lives. Big inspiration when you gave me direction advice. Oh, yay. Good. I got nervous. You're like, I remember you when you started doing lives. I'm like, oh gosh. Because when I look back at those, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe oh gosh. Sometimes I want to delete them. And then I'm like, nope, it's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. right? But thank you, by the way, Carla. I appreciate that. But like, what was your problem and what was what was your challenge and what was the solution? That is something that you can share all the time about the business. I mean, I could talk about the business forever without even talking about ketones. Just how much, like, I didn't know anything about the things in business that I know today. The business development and the business training that I have received through Prove It will be within me forever and has soaked into my entire family and my entire future, as well as all of you. So know that everything that you're doing is for a purpose. It's for a bigger purpose, a higher power. Everything is not just about you and ketones. Like, I promise you that. And I know all of you are here because you have a good heart and you're here to change the world. I don't even have to ask you guys to drop one in the comments for that. Okay. So ask yourself too, what benefits were you looking for? Maybe, and you can even give examples, right? Maybe screaming at your kids too much. Like for me, I know that I had a major shift when it came to my patience with my children. Now, everybody that comes around me is like, you're the most patient mom I've ever met in my entire life. That you, like, all these things have changed, okay? Like, so I want you to identify these things within you. I keep sharing all these things about me to help you guys identify things within you. Okay. Because these are the things that are going to attract people. Our resistance is our power. The things that we feel are our biggest setbacks are really the things that attract people the most because they are so damn inspiring when we share them. Straight up. And the more you share them, I have no idea how to turn off my text messages. I'm so sorry, guys. The more that you share them, the more inspiring it becomes. Because how awesome is it to be that person to lead the way and inspire people through the stuff that you feel was like the most challenging parts of your life? Or maybe the littlest challenges, right? Maybe they're little challenges. Those are still inspiring, okay? So I keep bringing up challenge and solution because challenges inspire people, especially when you have a solution and you're living that solution. And that's what storytelling and attraction is about. Okay, maybe you hate your job. If I can tell you how many people I have helped go from hating their job to either not needing that job anymore or realigning their mindset through our events, personal development, growth, team, and community to now love their job, love their life, that's a big deal too, right? So these are all examples and ideas that just to help you guys turn your brain. Also, like, think about, what was your goal when you decided to try ketones? Share that. Your goal now might be way different than back then, right? So when you first started, started, your goal's way different than what it was now. Share that goal when you first started. That goal might be more relatable to people or just a different type of relatability, right? My goal now will relate to X, Y, and Z, but my goal back then will relate to A, B, C. And then my goal a year after that was DEF, and my goal after that. And guess what? If I share my goal for every year I've been with Prove It, 5.5 now, I'm going to talk to 5.5 different people, 5 different people, groups of people, you know? So think about what you were trying to stop, maybe a habit. Was it fat loss? Was it not feeling good in your body? Was it insomnia? Like, no one knew it, but you were really hoping that this was going to help you sleep because, like, you just sleep like crap and you needed something and nobody knew about it at the time, but damn, it changed your life. Or maybe you didn't even realize it, right? So hopefully you guys are getting the gist. Like, maybe you're isolated at home. I have so many moms that joined this business because they're isolated at home and they're stay-at-home moms and their husband are the breadwinners. They really, 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 really want something that they can have for their own. I don't know. Can you relate to that, Lynn? Because you nodded really hard. See what I mean? Like, see all these different stories that we can tell. And it's not just like, that wasn't me. I'm still extremely single. Okay. I don't have a breadwinner husband, but I can still share that story and inspire someone. excuse me. So just know that like the storytelling aspect, I know this isn't a storytelling training or anything, but like storytelling is part of attraction. It is attraction. Blah, 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 where are we? I need to get rid of these text messages there. I shrunk it. I don't know why they were all popping up and I was just watching them, distracting myself. All right. So anyways, how did you feel before? What were you going through? Were you desperate for something? I was desperate for a lot of things. I didn't identify it at the time, but if I told my story now, I was desperate for community. I was a winner that hadn't won yet. Okay. And I didn't know how much I needed the community. I didn't know how much I needed the development and the support. I didn't know how much I needed the guidance. I didn't know how much I needed the positive, uplifting group of people around me that I have now. All of you guys are part of my community now, my family, because of this. And I damn sure didn't have any people like you guys in my life before. You know, my parents are, of course, my number ones, right? But like my friends, my peer group, like it's totally different. I didn't join at the time because I knew that was going to come. But if I start sharing that story, how many people do you think I would inspire to maybe say, oh, shoot, you know what? I might need that too. I don't know. Only you know. Right. So also think about where you found the person that you ordered from. Or did they find you? That's also something to always go back to. Like for me, he reached out to me and said, you have to try this stuff. You're going to love it. He literally said it's going to change your life. I don't think he realized how much it's changed my life. I don't even talk to that person anymore, right? He does not know how much it's changed my life, right? But like, think about how you found out about ketones and reverse engineer that. You can also share and attract people through that. What worked on you will work for you. What worked on you will 1,000,000% work for you. So take yourself back there and do that, you know? So identify your audience. So I mentioned that, you know, above target audience. Everything that I just mentioned is going to be talking to your target audience because your story is going to talk to your audience. That is your target audience. But really being able to identify like who your target audience is. For me, I can't even say it's men or women because I do both. It's people, right? It's people who are looking to grow and learn and better themselves. Not people who are looking, you know, it's people who are looking for themselves, it's people who are looking to better themselves, people who want to better themselves. I am not any longer in conversations with people who do not want to better themselves, which I was for a very long time. I felt like I was forcing and convincing. And so I had to shift and really say, who do I want to talk to? Who am I 100% certain of who I want to speak to? I don't argue or convince or this or that. Oh my gosh, it never happens anymore. It's so nice. But when I didn't know who I was talking to, that happened all the time. Right? So identify your audience. Maybe it's moms, maybe it's dads, maybe it's moms who want better. Maybe it's people who are looking for community. Maybe it's people who are wanting fat loss. Maybe you're fully focused on like this journey that you've had, like maybe you went through menopause and you had a lot of hormonal challenges, and then you came out of this like better lifestyle. You plug into Dustin and one of his challenges and you come out feeling like a freaking new human. And you're like, wow, I want to help other women like me or men like me do what I did, whatever it is. When you identify that, you're going to attract it because that's how manifestation works. That's how magnetism works. When someone is 100% certain of what they want and what they're going after, nothing will ever get in the way of that. The second you decide this is the audience I want to talk to, Dustin told me this years ago and it did not click for a couple years. So sorry, Dustin, I'm slow sometimes. But literally knowing, he told me that in the house in California. Oh my gosh, it just came to me. He was like, you got to know who you're talking to. Like, you got to know your audience. You need to know who you're talking to. Man, is that accurate? Like, know who you want to talk to, because then when you need a post idea, well, if you don't know who you're talking to, how the heck are you going to come up with an idea on what to talk about? Right? You got to know who you want to talk to or the outcome that you want to achieve. So when we create content, that's what's going to help us identifying what type of person we're talking to. And I do recommend going live and just start talking. I promise it helps, it works, and it's very uncomfortable at first. At least it was for me. And gosh darn it, I couldn't imagine where my business would be without Facebook Lives right now, but that's a whole nother training. So go live, start talking about it. Talk to your audience, talk to your people, share your story. That's what's going to attract people. But it wasn't until I needed the product that I started looking at the product, right? And I was like, oh, okay, I kind of do need that stuff that guy was talking about. And I do, so why would I not celebrate? Why would I not help people with the problems they're having, the challenges and the solutions? So this is so good. So many great reminders to think of. Yay, good. I'm glad. Okay. Let me know if I start babbling. So, it's up to us too, also in a way, like through our story, at least this is how I feel. Like, I like to prove it. I like to prove to people how it's solved my challenges by sharing my stories and showing people my journey and pictures and being more and more and more and more open with little things. And by no means do I mean that you need to share things that make you, extremely uncomfortable or unhappy or trauma or anything like that. If that's not something you're looking, I don't mean that. Because I do that sometimes now. But what I mean is it could literally be one sentence or two sentences. Like, I literally felt like I had no desire to do anything before I started ketones, and I started drinking ketones, and it brought me back to life and made me more present as a mom. Right? That is relatable. That is attraction. How many other moms out there do you feel can relate to that? So people are going to follow you. They're going to watch you. And if you share your story and you're documenting your experience starting now, like if you haven't already, start now this second, share everything, man, because people are attracted to that. And share about what you're excited about for the future. That's attractive. Where your people, oh my gosh, I don't remember who said this, probably Dustin, Michael, Brian, everybody. People will support and like be a part of other people's goals sometimes before they're a part of their own, or they'll support their own, or they'll go after their own. But they'll follow yours, they'll support yours, which will in the long term or short term inspire them to support theirs as well. And you get to be that person that supports them too. Okay, they're going to follow you, they're going to watch you. And if you share your story and you're documenting your experience, they're going to do it with you. I promise. So identify your reasons. Identify your reasons. Share one thing every day. These are just some bullet points I wrote. Identify your reasons. Share one thing every day, either in your stories or on your wall, but something that you love about ketones. Even if you're just talking and you're watering your plants and it like shines through, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I drank my ketones before I watered my plants because I got so much energy right now. Anyways, and then you talk about something else. Like, it doesn't have to be like, comment below if you want my ketones, just share all the time. Talk about them. All right. So identifying your reason and sharing your experience is where that just came from. So share one thing every day, celebrate your wins, and share with people why you love ketones. Okay. Here we go. All right. So connect with people daily is part of the attraction. Okay. Connecting with people, because it's not just a post. Like, you can post all day long, and Cameron always calls it post and pray. You don't need to post and pray. Like, you need to attract people. So you post and you attract people, but you connect with them. It's about connecting and building relationships. Okay. I literally could not imagine doing this business Mike D and H without have spending time and connecting with him and getting to know him and getting to know his family and getting to know his wife and his daughter and his kids and his situation and the things that he wants and he desires. And before it was even about the business, it was more about his health journey. And he was on a 100-day run and he did 2 packs a day for 100 days and he hit his goals within the first couple of weeks. And then he set new goals and I got to know him and I spent time with him. That's what this is about. Okay, that is how the attraction is not just like, I attracted someone and now they're here and yay, and the job is done. No, you have to keep attracting people to want to come back for more. Forever and ever. Like your whole team and your customers and your promoters and the people around you. Can you imagine if I attracted someone and then like didn't continue to attract? I wouldn't have a team, right? So everybody needs to really, really think about how you are getting to know people, how you are building relationships with people, and how you are being attractive for people to come back to for more support, more guidance, more help, more all of these things, because they reached out to you because they were attracted to you, right? So these people are raising their hands and they're liking and loving things and commenting on your stuff. But you got to remain attractive. So always keep that in mind. I'm going to stop here for a second because I do think this is a really good time to bring in my friend Amanda here. If you are on, I saw your camera's off, but I know you're still there and you're running to the camera right now to turn it on. There you are. So Amanda is someone who I have watched grow immensely. Okay. And I have seen everything that she has done and applied and learned. And I'm telling you, she is a true inspiration. And she's not even on my team. I mean, we're team proven and everything. She's under Cameron, but Amanda, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about how you literally went from like 1 or 2 customers a month to like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, like through attracting, just if you don't mind, just share your story with us.
First off, I'm going to go cry now. I'm probably going to go drop some tears. That was great. I almost cried the first time you were talking about me. I love you so much. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Amanda. I'm a survivor of sexual assault, domestic violence, and drug addiction. I've been clean for October will be 6 years. I'm a mom of 3 teenagers, plus my husband's a teenager himself. And I've been drinking and sharing ketones for 3 years now. I just celebrated my 3-year anniversary. So basically that's it, Sam. Like you've hit the, how does that saying go? You've hit the nail on the head with the hammer. Oh, I got it right. Yay, that's exciting. Okay, so basically you did that. And that's what storytelling. When you're storytelling, you're attracting your tribe, right? And basically for me, it started within myself. It didn't start with anybody else. I had to do that work within myself. And that started with my I am statements. I had to know that I am capable of all things. I am enough and I can do whatever I put my mind to, right? Once I was able to feed that into my brain, I knew who I was attracting. I knew my audience that I was going for. So basically it started within myself. And every time that I do a post, I do it with intention. So I have a post that I do usually every morning. That's my post for intention. I have a language put together that goes with that same exact post because I have intention behind it, right? I know what I'm doing. I know who I'm attracting and I know what I'm going for. And then I just do a post throughout the day to basically, fill somebody's heart up because there's so many moms, dads, grandparents, everything else, brothers and sisters that just need some inspiration poured into their life. So I basically have 2 things that I do. I post with intentions and then I post to boost up somebody's mental thoughts of what they're feeding themselves that day because I know that I did that. And when it comes with, storytelling, we all have a story to share, right? And there's always that fear of sharing that story, but that fear is nothing more than the emotions or feelings that are produced when you attach a stimulus to the loss of a memory or pain. So basically, once I was able to, work past that and notice that was a red light story that I was telling myself, the game changed, my mind shift changed, and I just decided to go with it and allow the world to get to know me unapologetically. And that was not only, that was a sense of healing for myself, to be able to share my, journey and my process with the world, to know that this is what I've been through, but this is what I've overcome. It was a sense of healing. And ever since then, I've been able to attract my tribe, because that's what we're doing, right? We're attracting the people that, we want, either as a customer or as a team member or whatever it is. Some of us, it's friends. Like, I know that my heart is to build this with love and build it with friendships. And that's where you're attracting those people that have been through, the same thing. Even if your story isn't sexual assault, domestic violence, or drug addiction, we all have a story. We are all either parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts. We all have a story. I mean, I can remember growing up, my brother was the only boy out of 4 girls, and his life was literally freaking heck. Like, we ran over him all the time. And there's just so many people out there that can relate to that. By all means, like, there's so many guys that are just, one brother, the rest are sisters. So we all have a story, and that's what I encourage everybody to do, is share your story. But while you're sharing it, also attract your tribe, because once you attract them, guess what? You're going to connect with them. Once you connect with them, guess what you're going to do? You're going to enroll them, and that's where ACE comes into hand.
Amen, sister. I love you. You're so
I love you.
so inspiring. And truly, genuinely, like, Amanda has been such a motivator and such a reminder. Just sometimes being able to watch other people do what you need to do is enough of a reminder for yourself, or at least it was for me. So thank you for sharing all of that. Another thing I want to touch on, and I saw what you said, I agree, Lynn, 100%. You cannot truly be authentic when you worry about having to apologize to anyone for who you are and where you're going. And that's definitely been something that I've had to remind myself of. Other people have had to remind me of lately, and multiple times in the process of my journey. And I think that's really important to keep in mind for everybody. So, like, we are all here and we're all entrepreneurs. So don't get caught up on what you don't know. All right. Something that Joseph talks about a lot, and a lot of people who are in the realm of manifesting, right? You don't want to focus. I shouldn't have even said you don't. You do want to focus on what you want. You do not want to focus on what you don't want. I will give you a quick example. 2 of my mentors, this is how they gave it to me, and it stuck to my brain forever. If I were to literally tell you right now, do not focus on the biggest star in the middle of the paper. Guys, don't focus on that big star in the middle of the paper. The first thing you're going to focus on, and the only thing you're going to be able to focus on, is the star in the middle of the paper. It's physically impossible to not think about something, excuse me, that you're told not to talk about, right? Or think about or focus on. So our brain works the same way. We only want to focus on what we do want. We only focus on what is going to happen, what will happen, what is coming into fruition, what we are attracting. I mean, I can promise you, half the time you guys are laughing over there, and I know you're in the same room, and now I'm wondering what you're talking about, and you two know who I'm talking about. So, so like, if you think about, don't think about, I don't want people that, are not into it. Or if I ask someone, what are your goals? What do you want to do? And they're like, well, I don't want to gain weight, and I don't want to do this, and I didn't ask what you don't want, right? But most of us as humans, it's human nature, it's survival, it's literally within us to think about what we don't want. The best thing that everybody on this Zoom could do right now is play a game with themselves. And I do it with my kids too. Don't run, don't slip, don't no, walk slow. Focus on your feet when you're going down the stairs. Like, I now have redirected. I play this game with myself. I want you guys to do that too. And focus on what you want. what you are going to do, what you are supposed to do. Even when you're telling people, watch how many times today you say to yourself and other people, don't do this and don't do that. And you're going to be like, oh my God, like it's hard kind of, right? So don't get caught up on what you don't know. Focus on what you do know when you reach out to people. Like, hey, Ellen, thanks so much for commenting on my post about ketones. What do you know about, have you ever heard of them or tried drinking them? Right? And then think about what you know. Like, I know that the ketones work. I know that I'm sharing this with the world because I love them. I know that the business works. I know that the community is amazing. I know that when I started, like, I loved it. I had a great experience. I know all these things, right? So these are all positives. And these are the things that you can be thinking about to attract people, because that's literally how it works. If you focus on all the things you don't want, you are either not going to attract people or you are going to attract the people you don't want. Okay. And we'll save that whole training for another day, but I couldn't help but to like throw that in there, because attraction is all about, like Amanda mentioned, within you. It is belief within yourself, belief within the company, belief within the product, and belief within being able to just share it with the world, because you can. Everybody on here can. Our only job is to identify who we're making the content for, or who we're talking to, or who we're sharing with, or who we're connecting with. That is our job. That is our due diligence, to help the people and identify those people. So I know I can help them, and I know you guys can help them too. So we lead with education, we lead with inspiration, we post these things on our Facebook. I'm going to give you guys some quick tactics, some strategy on like how you can attract better and more on social. And then we'll cut this short, because I know I have been babbling like forever. I tend to do that, and I'm so sorry, guys. But 421, if you guys have not heard of it yet and you don't know what that is.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize for being yourself.
Oh my God,
hey,
you're right.
Hey, don't do that. Like, come on now.
I love you. You're so, as the words were coming out of my mouth, I was like, oh crap. That's so funny. But like 421. All right. If you haven't heard of it, I'll give you a quick rundown, but there are several trainings on this. Reach out to the person you're working with, ask them what the heck 421 is. But 421 is, if you were to look at your week as 7 days, it's the best way to attract people online. Your week is full of 7 days. 4 of those days, I want you guys to talk about yourself, your family, your hobbies, the things you love, the things about you, whatever it is that your day consists of, even if it's you at work, even if it's something that you learned or whatever. Those are the 4 days that I want you guys to fill up on your week. 2 of the days, I want you to talk about bettering your health, bettering your lifestyle, better journey, whatever that means to you, whatever journey you're on right now and how you are pursuing better. Okay. I want you to talk about that 2 of the days. And then 1 day a week, that is when you talk about ketones. Okay. That is when you talk about the benefits, you share a story, maybe you go live, you talk about trial packs, maybe it's a reboot, maybe it's core 4, transformation, a story, whatever it is. That 1 day a week is when you talk about ketones. And if you look at this from a perspective of your week, which then goes into a month, you will literally be sharing enough about you, your life, pursuing better, inspiring people, teaching and educating people what you're doing, what other people are doing, and most important, the solution, how, the ketones. That is the master plan to attract people online. I swear, it works. I learned this a couple years ago. I've been implementing it ever since, and I have not gone down in my growth. I have gone up in my growth. And I see it working for everyone else that does it too. You're right, Lynn. We are never perfect. We are all a work in progress. I love being surrounded by people that are willing to help me shift my mindset. Absolutely. Me too. Me too. That like this 421, when I tell you it's a game changer, because it eliminates all of the overwhelming overthinking. And there's, again, I mean, I don't mind ever doing another training on this, but that alone, you will attract the heck out of some people just sharing. So tell a story about yourself. I remember I was like this and I've tried everything. Nothing's helped me better than what I have now, right? If you have ever had a challenge of sleeping, let's chat, or drop a heart in the comments. You know, if you ever have challenges with energy and you're looking for more, let me know, drop a heart in the comments, something like that. But it's a problem and solution. So keep in mind, 421, challenge and solution. How you felt when you first got started, sharing your story and relating to people based on like, not just right now, but also at different points in your journey. And know your why, know your reason, share your experience every day, no matter what, connect with your audience, plug into these trainings, of course. And last but not least, I'm going to close it down with this. This is something that Dustin talks about, or he's talked about multiple times to me in the past. And I heard it again yesterday on a training. Our business is so simple. And when we make it simple, it not only is simple for us, but it's simple for the person that we're working with, talking to, and bringing on board. If we focus on our why, which is always going to be the core, the center of the circle, the core value. Maybe it's obesity, maybe it's overall good health, maybe it's longevity, whatever it is. Focus on your why, share that with people, then focus on your how. How, maybe it's like, I'll give you an example. Why? Overall better health. Who wants to better their overall health in the next 4 weeks? How? We've got, yes, everybody on here. We've got a simple system. It's called Core 4. Super simple. You set your goal, you select your challenge kit, and you enter to win. And then guess what? The what is the challenge kit, the better bundle, whatever. That is it. It's how, it's why, how, what. Why, how, what? Why, how, what? Literally, why, how, what? Why? Overall better health, fat loss, whatever your benefits are. How? Reboot, Core 4, challenge kit. Pick your how. We've got multiple. And then your what? Like, it's that simple. So that made a lot of sense when Dustin explained it to me. It's actually how I got all of my Core 4 people on board, through that simple, like, what are you guys looking for? Here's how you do it. Join the challenge, win. You know what I mean? Yes. And thank you for the amazing, oh, you're welcome. Yes. Why it's so important to truly attract and then take a step further and connect, truly connect. That's where the true inspiration comes from. Yes. And when you can inspire people, they will beg to join you. I agree. And we will leave it at that. People are literally going to be begging you to join, because right now you all are setting the intention to magnetize and attract people to you, to your inbox, to your text messages, to your comments, to your life, to start this journey with you and join you in business, join you on your health journey. And I'm really excited to see you all grow. And Dustin, I see you're on. So if you'd like, you are welcome to close this out.
I'll close it out. Hey, everybody, give a big shout out to Samantha. I truly appreciate it. Samantha, Amanda, thanks for the fire that you always bring. And Samantha is right. This is every day I wake up realizing our business is simpler than I make it. I tend to overthink it. I complicate things. That's just my nature. It was my nature in the past. I am becoming a magnifier of simplification. And that's what makes this business model so special, is that truly anybody can do it. I always like to say is if my mom can't do what I just did, I probably messed it up. My mom's 72 years old and can barely turn on a computer. But if she can do it, anybody can do it, right? And so couple things I just want to ask really quick, because next week's training, I had a couple ideas, and I wanted to see if any of you could give me some feedback on what we could train on next week, because I have 2 ideas. But before I do that, I had a really unique call with a lady that she wants to make $9,000 per month by the end of the year. That's her goal. And we actually talked about 421. And the one thing I said to her, I go, for that goal, that's a steep goal. I go, you might want to double 421. You might want to do 842, because we need to magnify what you're experiencing. And I go, really focus on one platform. She's going to actually use 2 because of the TikTok component, but I go, just really isolate into one thing and let's become a huge recruiting tool. So 421 is the foundation of it, but you can double it. If you have bigger goals, you can go more, maybe a reel and a post, and you can magnify it that way. But the 2 ideas I had yesterday, I'm very conflicted between them. One of them is, yes, you can do 421 on multiple platforms for sure. One of them is, I've been working on this kind of art of not being yourself with Joe Dispenza. And it's I got to tell you, it's been wonderful. The last 6 months has been truly life changing for me. The aha moment. I've been working on meditating for 20 years, y'all. 20 years. I actually did the biggest gift in the world. I parked about 20 feet from Whole Foods to walk inside here in a second, and normally I park about 300 feet away, 400 or 500 feet away at the Tesla charger, and that's a big thing for me. I'm going to actually walk less steps today because I need to rest and recover. Like, it's huge to sit down and be patient and just meditate. But what I've gained over the last 6 months on this, of the kind of the art of not being myself, the reason why I bring that up is what Samantha was talking about one of the things that I'm really working on in my family is how many times my son pours cereal or he'll do something, instantaneously I go, don't spill, be careful. It's subconsciously coming out of my mouth, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Stop. Okay, let me rephrase that. And I'm catching myself all day long, and I can't believe how much I have of it in me. Like, constantly the not what I want to say. What I want to say is, hey buddy, walk with confidence when you're carrying that cereal, right? That's what I meant to say, but it's not what I'm saying to him. And so I would, if you're open to it, I could do a really cool training around that of what I've learned over the last 6 months through Jay Shetty, through Joe Dispenza. And I think it'd be really my art that one gift I have, well, I have a few, but one really good gift I have is how to take really things that are confusing to me and simplify them to others. So if you want the simplification of what they're doing, I can give you my perspective of it. That's one option. The other option is that I'm going in setting up for another recruit 20 people in 30 days, 20 promoters in 30 days. I'm setting myself up for that. It's not something I just decide to do one day and I just do it tomorrow. I plan it out. It's an organization. I get it all set up and then I go for it. And so that's something I'm putting together for myself. But it takes me a few weeks to get it all set up. I want to do it right before Cancun, because Cancun's going to bring a lot of heat and energy. It's going to be right during, it's either going to be during Cancun most likely, and then up to Hacking Better, because Hacking Better is going to bring a lot of energy. And my thought is to bring in 20 promoters to bring new people to Hacking Better. That's where I'm going with that. So the other option is that we can do my take on how to recruit 20 people in 30 days. Now, that's something that's going to be for everybody, and anybody can do this. There's nobody out there that can't. You just have to decide, put it together, plan it out, and execute, and at least go for it. It's the art of going for it that makes the biggest difference. So you guys decide in the chat. Which one you want me to go for, or which one you'd like me to do. It'll be very different energies when I do each one of them. But let me know, and I'll look in the chat here, and we'll see where we're at here. 1 second. Okay. Reframe the 2020. Yes, sounds amazing. I agree with Lynn. Definitely, let's go for 2020 in 30 days. Both 20 in 30 days. I mean, can you not just go down the middle with this thing? Okay, let's do this. Everybody that I can see on the screen, if you want me to focus on the mindset side of things, or what I've been working on with Joe Dispenza, give me a thumbs up like this. I'm going to count. If this is for next week, now I'll do both. Both will come. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, how many help me count? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now 8, 9, 10, 11. I think that one won. If you want me to do recruit 20 people in 30 days next week, I want you to give me the okay sign. 1. Well, promoters, you guys lost. All right, so what we're going to do is next week, we're going to focus on Joe Dispenza. What I'll do is, if you guys want, I can see if I can find maybe some footage that we can. So next week, we'll do Joe Dispenza. What I've taken away from that. The next week, we're going to do 20 promoters in 30 days. And what I'll do is I will start giving you maybe some content that you can read and learn about on Thursday. So the week up to the 20-30, I will let you I'll give you some information you can learn about, so that you can decide if you want to run for it with me, that you can start to kind of digest it. And then I'll present my perspective and my content, my way of how I did it last time and how I'm going to do it this time, and just my take on the whole thing. So that sound good, everybody? Okay. I don't know what Lynn said, but apparently she was genius. I don't know. So
Seriously, she said something really smart. So I appreciate you.
It happens
Samantha.
every once in a while, Dustin. Come on.
Yeah, hey, no, don't tell yourself that. You're a genius.
Hey, I am a badass.
Yes, you are. Okay, guys, I appreciate you all. I'll see you Thursday. Let's have an awesome month. Y'all, Wild Tiger is dropping. I'm drinking it right now. I like it so much. It is delicious. It's refreshing. I can't describe the taste. I would say it's got like a pear melon component to it, but it's got a Jolly Rancher finish. Like the apple Jolly Rancher finish, if that makes any sense. Like it's literally like 3 different kind of hits: the first expression, the taste, and then the finish. I live in wine country, so I'm learning all these, these little fancy words. The redneck from Minnesota is learning fancy words in the wine country. It's kind of funny. I do not sometimes fit in when I go to our little wine events. It's pretty funny. I very much stick out. But I appreciate you all. Thank you all. Have an unbelievable day. But Friday, that is dropping. Tonight, we have a special how to launch a new flavor, how to share this to your community. And remember, it's not about the new flavor. It's about the conversation. So it should just be part of the conversations you're already having. But as long as you follow concepts like 421, which I'll be sending out in Pulse here shortly, it just fits in with it all. So it doesn't have to overwhelm people of like something new. It's just that's part of your conversations that you're going to be having with a lot of people. So appreciate y'all. Samantha, you're a beast. I appreciate you too, and have a good night. Good day. Good day. And Lynn, I can't reclaim host. If you can shut it down, it'd be great. Oh, never mind. I got it.
Oh.